Hello, my love. It is Tuesday. It's tea time. Let's talk. Today, we're going to talk about LARP costuming. There is an accepted term for your costume that you wear at LARP. It is called your kit. And most LARPs have a minimum kit requirement, usually something in black or other neutrals with no modern logos. Even post-apocalyptic things will usually ask for like logos to be kept to a minimum. Like Wasteland Weekend doesn't want any brand names. A lot of medieval LARPs will ask you not to wear jeans. Some will ask you not to wear modern shoes. I am personally of the mind that shoes are comfort first, aesthetics secondary. You can always make shoe covers. You can usually get by with simple pants and a tunic or a simple dress in most of the medieval LARPs. If this is your first LARP, no one is expecting you to come fully kitted out in an immaculate costume that took you weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks to build or commission from somebody. No one is going to expect that from you. I promise you, everyone started somewhere. I have all these amazing friends with all these amazing costumes, and I can tell you, every single one of them will say the same thing. It's okay to start small, especially if you are coming in not as a player character, but as an NPC or team monster, as we like to call it at my home LARP. Just show up in black pants with a logoless black t-shirt. You can take one that's got stuff printed on the front and turn it inside out, just cut the tag off the back, and they will give you whatever gear you need to look like whatever person you're going to be playing or whatever monster you're going to be. All you have to do is dress like you work in the theater. Unrelieved black. It's the safest, easiest way to go. Tennis shoes are fine, usually if they're black. We all care about foot safety. If you're going out into the woods, maybe don't wear the heels. If your LARP requires closed-toed shoes, make sure that you wear closed-toed shoes. You could do a lot with a t-shirt. We recently cut the sleeves off and then cut down the front of a t-shirt and made a little vest for part of my kid's kit because he needed a splash of red. What do you mean he needed a splash of red? Here is the thing. Some games have suggested costume elements, or some games even have required costume elements that are based on color or ancestry or things like that. For example, in my home LARP, we have what are called allegiances. They're like little countries that our characters swear allegiance to. And every allegiance has a set of heraldry that will have specific colors. And for some characters, it is required to wear allegiance colors. Like my character is a very super British person, and they will wear their allegiance colors to proudly proclaim where they hail from. And so I have to wear a lot of red and white. There is a game called Starfall. It's like galactic space police force with glowing crystal swords, and they have different colors for the different jobs that you do. So like warriors will wear purple, and I think the healers wear green. I'm not sure. I have never been. I have a friend who goes. It looks really awesome, but it's all the way across the country for me, and it's like $900 for a 4-day event. I mean, room and board's included, but it's kind of spendy. Maybe someday I can go and it'll be a business expense, and I can make videos for you guys about it. That is not in the cards this year. Anyway, so they have different, I don't want to call them factions, I don't want to call them guilds, I don't know what the word is, but they are character classes, I guess. And you start off with a little bit of the color, and then as you go in successive years, you get to wear more and more. There is likely to be some sort of heraldry in your game if you are doing anything medieval based. If you're going to Wasteland Weekend, you can make your own clans for that and put your own symbolism on things like that. Costuming can be as simple or as complicated as you want to make it. You can pay somebody to make your entire costume. You can Likely, if you're doing a medieval fantasy, you can go to the Renfest and you can buy a whole costume at the Renfest if you want. It will be spendy. Just putting that out there. It will be spendy. Everything that you're going to buy at the Renfest is going to be handmade, and you should be compensating people for their labor. It's not going to be cheap, fast fashion stuff that exploits their workers and, cuts corners with everything and uses minimal quality materials to make a subpar product. If you're going to pay someone to make your costume, you should be prepared to pay. Please do me a favor. And if you go seeking someone to commission for your costume, please do not use the words budget or affordable. Have you seen the price of fabric in this day and age? Linen is $12 to $16 a yard. And if you are looking to get a tabard made and you only want to pay $20, $30 for it, you're not going to be paying whoever's making it for you a livable wage. You can't ask somebody to custom handmake something for you and use the words affordable or budget. If you want something that you don't have to pay a living wage for somebody to sew for you, you need to learn to sew. And if your time is more valuable than that, why is their time not? Just gonna put that out there. Not that you would do that, but I've seen people who I would have thought better ask for affordable sewing commissions. So don't be that person. If you're asking for custom handmade work, be prepared to pay custom handmade work prices. If you go to the Ren Fair and you look at the dress on the rack that costs $120 and you're like, oh, that's too expensive, learn to sew, do it yourself. I'm not trying to discourage anyone. I'm just saying that we have been spoiled with the prices that corporations sell things to us in this modern day that don't really cover the cost of handmade goods, especially small batch handmade goods. When you're making 500,000 units of the same skirt in the same size, you can buy things in bulk. You can cut all the same size on a laser machine and in one go. You can't do that for small batch handmade goods. Every tunic is going to get cut on a cutting table one by one. Every pair of pants is going to get cut on a cutting table one by one. Even if you have a workshop full of people, most of the places that you're going to find that will commission you LARP stuff are small companies. There are some, I would consider Holy Clothing like a mid-small company, because I know that they have a workshop that has multiple people. It's not a one-man show. They buy their rayon in bulk and they have standardized things and they do it in a certain way, and they can maximize their profits because they make enough clothing that they can afford to compartmentalize the construction of it. They are not getting an order for one thing in, making that one thing to order, sending that out, and then taking another order. They have a stock of things. Sometimes they take pre-orders, and then they have 57 of the dress that they have to make. So they have 6 people in their, I don't know that they have 6 people in their workroom, but this is a thought experiment, so stay with me. They have one person serging all the seams, and one person doing the side seams, and one person setting in the sleeves, and one person doing this. And you can do things really quickly like that. You can churn out 57 dresses in a week when you have 6 people in your workroom, each with their designated job. If you're commissioning a 1 to 2 person atelier, or you're getting a friend or your mom or your uncle or whoever sews to do this for you, they do not have the volume or equipment to work like a mid-sized company. Especially if you're asking one person to do this for you on a single commission basis, and they don't do this for their livelihood, it is going to take them way longer than it takes a company that makes the product on a larger scale to do that. And so while you can buy something from Holy Clothing or Bird Schneider for a actually really good price for the quality that you get. I do not own products from either of these stores, but I have seen and inspected products from both of these stores, and the prices that you pay for that are fair. Absolutely fair. In fact, I would say it's kind of a steal. You're reaping some benefit there from their processes of being able to cut costs to give you things at a lower price point. Please do not expect that sort of pricing from smaller outfits. You're not going to get it. And if you push for it, you're going to be undercutting people. If you are making your own costume, my advice to you is going to be start with your basic pieces and build up from there. This dress here, this was made for a cosplay, but it was made for a cosplay with the idea in mind that I can wear this to a medieval LARP with a set of stays as a neutral garment underneath my kit so that I can take off my fancy red velvet jacket and go off and play Team Monster for my monster shift, because I have to have a set of NPC neutrals. Basics first, fancy frou-frou stuff later. Building blocks. My next piece of advice is to use the same fabric for a lot of pieces, like make interchangeable things. Get enough fabric to do 3, maybe 4 different pieces, and do like a doublet or a long jacket, skirt or pants, or whatever it is that you're going to do, so that you can change your look up on different days. You can have different levels of formality. You can have different levels of airflow. Because if you are going to be going to a summer event, you're going to want some breathability, and you're going to want to be able to take layers off if you get too hot. You're going to want to be able to put layers on if you get too cold in the winter. So same or similar trims. Make sure your colors work together. Bring swatches of any fabrics that you currently have in your stash that you might use for that character whenever you go out shopping for new fabrics for that character, so that you can make sure that all of your things kind of have a color harmony to them. And another piece of general advice is to make or invest in a pair of boot covers. LARPing boots are expensive and you need to protect your feet. You are not going to be traipsing off into the woods if you fall and roll your ankle because you're not wearing proper footwear. So wear shoes that are comfortable for walking in for many miles, for running in if you are the kind of person who is going to run, and then boot covers on top of that. Boot covers are great. Do you want a video about boot covers? Drop me a comment. Let me know. If you want a video about boot covers, I'll see about making a video about boot covers. Other than that, the only thing that I can really say is consider natural fibers, because they do tend to be hardier and wear better than a lot of the synthetic fibers. Synthetic fibers can tend to be pretty fragile, especially if you're going to be in the sun with them a lot. They don't fare quite as well in UV. Like, nothing fares well against the sun. Let's just be honest. You have to treat things with UV protectant yearly, maybe sometimes every season, in order to get them to resist UV rays. But natural fibers tend to fare a little bit better against UV damage. They're also biodegradable, so when they do fall apart because of UV damage, then they actually become part of the ecosystem again. I'm not saying don't use polyester. I'm just saying consider the fabrics that you're using for what application you're going to use it for. How is it going to wear? How comfortable are you going to be in it? How much use you're going to get out of it. If it's a one-time use product, consider the environmental impacts. If you're not going to wear it for a really, really long time, just think about it, okay? Do your research. You get to decide what you think is sustainable, because really and truly, maybe polyester is more sustainable if you wear it until it literally falls apart. whereas the water usage and pesticide impact of cotton, we're not going to get into that. That's your decision to make. You do your research on it, okay? We're here to talk about LARP costumes. Check your game and see if you need to have NPC neutrals and what colors they suggest for that. Check your game and see what sort of modern clothes are allowed or specifically disallowed. This is another moment of do your research because all the games are going to have different rules. If you're not into sewing and you're not going to ask somebody to make something for you, go follow Momo O'Brien and check out the things that she's done with stuff that she's like bought online, because I know that she's done some really cute outfits with very little. There are people that you can follow. LARP Mix has some tutorials for low-cost items. If you want to see some tutorials, you're going to have to tell me what you want to know. Do you need a basic sewing tutorial? Let me know. Do you want to know how to make a tunic? Let me know. Do you want to know how to make a robe à la française? You have to tell me what you want or I won't know what you want. So if you have a specific LARP that you're going to and you want some assistance or some tutorials about how to make stuff for it, just pop down in the comments and we'll have a discussion. Pop down in the comments and see if anybody needs help. Don't click any weird links though, okay? I'm gonna apologize for being a little scatterbrained this month. Things have been. By now, there may be a whole other video on the channel talking about what's been going on. If there isn't, then I just beg you to have some patience with me because there's some stuff going on. But I promise that I am doing my very best to take care of your friend. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Please do your best to take care of my friend. Hydrate. Do a little stretchy stretch. Get something to eat. I love you. I'll see you next week.